Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that like and subscribe. Today I'm just going to be doing a book review. I typically pick these up for reference materials as well as for a divination tool. And if you like this kind of thing, I have a whole playlist full of deck and tool reviews. Probably, I don't know, I think we only get 2 slots on this orientation. So it'll be here somewhere, okay? This one is by Colette Brown. And I will also link her channel down below, okay? She is amazing, and I found this book on Amazon, and I believe it was under 10 bucks, so that was pretty cool. This is Dying to Live, Death and the Afterlife, okay? She is absolutely amazing. She was actually requested to do this book, talking about all things manner of death and the afterlife, okay, as a medium herself, channeling experiences and everything. But she also chose to do it in a little bit of different way with this book. I kind of almost want to read you the introduction. Yeah, I think so. So she basically pulled from everybody that she talks to on all her social media platforms to get their experiences about death, the afterlife, near-death experiences, the full nine, okay? This wasn't the book that I had decided to write. I felt that I deserved a break from the intense emotional prose of my last book, Memoirs of a Clairvoyant, which I also got and I will review. That book had been draining and very cleansing, but had left me without words for a few months. Normally, I would write some fiction or short stories after a difficult book simply to restore my balance and energy. To this effect, I had started to write a paranormal thriller with spirits and karma and delightful twists of fate. Yet it never felt right. The characters never filled out to the stage where I could remember their life details. Even their hair color changed from paragraph to paragraph. Those who have read my novels know that I normally feel a realness about my characters which eventually wrecks me when I have to say goodbye to them. So this paranormal thriller felt like it was being written by someone else, and I was only some sort of a voyeur. It was the right book, but at the right time. But I persevered because I'm a Taurus with a capacity for stubbornness unrivaled by other astrological signs. Then on a day where I had given myself a break from writing, 4 separate messages changed my mind, and the contract with the universe to write this book was agreed. The first message was on social media from a woman who nursed end-of-life patients. She asked me if I would ever think about writing a book about death in the afterlife, as she felt it would be a wonderful resource for her to help with discussions with patients and their families. I was taken aback, as I had never really thought about writing a mediumship book. However, I said I would think about it and thanked her for her suggestion. The second push came from yet another person who helped counsel people regarding terminal illness. She felt that there were a lot of resources available on the psychological aspect of dying, but that she was frequently stumped when asked about an afterlife and what it may be like, especially by someone who did not have a religion to guide them. She had enjoyed my mediumship videos on YouTube and felt that I had helped her with my insights. These 2 requests came within hours of one another. Her brain was whirling, wondering if she could use her experience of seeing and hearing spirits and glimpsing the afterlife as an accessible book for those who needed it. When this excitement comes over her, she knew that she had found what she was going to be writing about. This hadn't happened with her paranormal thriller book, which she had put work into and wasn't ready to cast aside, to start from scratch on a new idea. The idea of moving on and doing all the groundwork again was just too much to contemplate. It was a year since her memoirs, and although it was still selling, it wasn't in quantities that could be described as an income. I needed the book out within months simply for financial reasons. I decided to continue with my thriller and write the afterlife book after that had been published. Then an old acquaintance hailed her on Facebook. She had known her for many years due to clairvoyant readings and events, and she had told her that she had cancer and it was terminal and she didn't have very long left to live. She was horrified and sad. She asked her if she could do something for her, and of course she said yes. And she asked me if she could reassure her about the afterlife. She believed in it, but felt the need to hear her experiences as she had in the past. She gladly chatted with her and then said goodbye. She died 3 weeks later. Her, my mind was full of sadness for this woman and her family that night as I went through some messages that had been sent to me. One was from a man that she didn't know, but it contained a poem about death and the afterlife. It was a deep poem, but it wasn't the poem itself that made her shiver. It was the subject matter. For the fourth time in one day, she had been prodded to think about the afterlife. She knew then she would put aside this paranormal thriller and start writing what the universe seemed to be instructing her to write. She knew she wanted to help people understand the spiritual aspect of death and know the contentment of believing in an afterlife if that is so what they so choose. The problem seemed to me that death is still very much a taboo subject in the Western modern society in which she lives. And of course she quotes a couple, Margaret Mead and Patch Adams. She says, I felt I had a lot to say because of my life and my career as a clairvoyant medium, but I knew the book would be better if it had many voices. So, I started the long process of collating people's stories of the death of loved ones and also the proof they had that they lived on. There was nothing scientific about this, although she does have a scientific background. All the stories are anecdotal. I present them for you simply because they resonate with what I have experienced in my day-to-day life and also my professional life before I retired. I remember a story about a student who asked an old Native American elder to explain what the great mystery was in his spiritual path. The elder replied, well, it wouldn't be a great mystery if we knew what the great mystery was, would it? I feel this applies to our view of the afterlife. I feel that our brains couldn't cope with the full knowledge of the next level of our existence, so glimpses are all we are meant to have for now. Maybe after many more years of evolution, we will be more attuned to the vibration of our next level, but for now, all we have are glimpses by ourselves, mediums and shamans. For the full experience, we have to dive to live it. And she just goes on to say, I hope you enjoy my book. I hope you will think about the stories and be open to some of the signs folks receive from spirit. I hope the descriptions of dying and passing over will show you that you need not fear it. I thank everyone who trusted me with their precious stories, safe in knowledge that you will have helped many people. Finally, I hope this book starts conversations about death and what lies beyond. Death should not be taboo. We all must do it. We are all dying from the moment we are born. The only difference is the length of our journeys. So I'm excited to crack this book open and start divinating with it, okay? I think it'll be extremely helpful. It will be something I actually take out for the next part of my purpose, bringing here onto this channel as well, once I get going. And it is a thin enough book for me to do it with. I can easily carry it wherever I need to go. There are 140-ish pages in here. So it's a good sized book as well. And again, this was not expensive, under $10, I believe, to have the tangible. It is also on audio book, I guess, or Kindle or whatever as well. So if you prefer a digital version, there's that available to you as well. Have a good one, you guys. Bye. It'll be here somewhere. Check it out.